Hi there, and welcome to another Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you, yes, you, Algebra 1. And in this video, we're going to be looking at exercise number 3 in lesson 6 on modeling systems of linear inequalities. And it says in football, field goals are 3 points each, and touchdowns with an extra point are 7 points each. The Massapequa High School football team scored more than 49 points in their game last Saturday. The team had at most 11 scoring plays that were a combination of only field goals, X, and touchdowns with the extra point, Y. Those were the only possibilities. Graph a system of inequalities and state one possible combination of field goals and touchdowns that Massapequa High School football team could have scored. So we want to go ahead and set up a system of inequalities here and then graph it. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to move my video somewhere out of the way right there. Okay. And we're going to have trouble seeing the question. There we go. So we're going to have to set up our system of inequalities where we know that there was a total of at most 11 scoring plays. So the total of field goals and touchdowns with the extra point was at most 11. So it had to be less than or equal to 11. And then we also know that, well, it tells us that field goals, which we're representing by X because it tells us we have to, field goals, X, are worth 3 points each, and touchdowns are worth 7 points each. So that's going to be 7y. And they scored more than 49 points. So more than 49 is going to be greater than 49. So now that we have our system of inequalities, before we can go ahead and graph these, we have to isolate y on each one. So over here, we'll have x plus y is less than or equal to 11. Let's go ahead and subtract x to isolate y. And we'll have y is less than or equal to negative x plus 11. Okay. Over here, we're going to have 3x plus 7y is greater than 49. And we're going to subtract 3x over here. We'll have 7y is greater than negative 3x plus 49. And we want to divide this whole thing by 7. And we'll be left with y is greater than negative 3 over 7x plus 49 divided by 7 will give us 7. So we have two inequalities. I don't think we're going to have to change our axes here, our scaling on our axes, but we do want to label these axes. So we're going to label this one because we know our x values is the number of field goals. And our y-axis is going to be number of touchdowns with the extra point. So let's go ahead and graph each of these inequalities. We have y is less than or equal to negative x plus 11. So let's go up to 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's 11. And we're going to be going down 1, right 1, because negative x tells us there's a slope of negative 1 over 1. So down 1, right 1, all the way throughout our graph until we run out of room. And once we do run out of room, we want to connect those two with a nice solid line because it's equal to, and equal to inequalities get that solid line that shows inclusion there. Now we want to not draw arrows on our line, but we do want to shade this, and we don't want to draw arrows because we can't score negative field goals or negative touchdowns. So we're going to shade this where y is less than this line. We're going to keep it inside the first quadrant. So less than this line is going to be downward. So we're going to shade downward. I'm trying my best to stay inside the first quadrant. Over here, I went outside of it, so I'm going to go back and even erase this line and redo that one, just so it stays inside the first quadrant. There we go. So now that I have my shaded area that represents our first inequality, I now want to do that with my second inequality as well, where we have y is greater than negative 3 over 7x plus 7. So at 5, 6, 7 is my y-intercept. And then I'm going to go down 3 units, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. Down 3 units, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. And those are all the points that fit. And again, I want to connect these with a dashed line because I'm not equal to now. So it's going to be dashed only. And again, no arrows on this line because that would show negative touchdowns and negative field goals, which we cannot have. And we're going to shade this thing up because y is greater than. So let's go ahead and shade this up. And these are all of the possibilities where you could score more than 49 points. But we're only concerned about one specific area, and that's the intersection point right here of our solution set that we're going to label with a nice letter S. And any point in there, integer point, because you can only score a whole number of touchdowns and a whole number of field goals. You can't score a decimal value. Any integer value point right there is a possible solution. So it says state one possible combination. So I'm going to just pick a safe point again. I'll make it nice bright green right here. And a safe point would be right in the middle of my solution set. So that's the point 2, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be 2 field goals and 7 touchdowns would satisfy all of the information in this word problem. So based on this word problem, we set up a system of inequalities, isolated y for each system, for each part of the system, and then graphed the system of inequalities on the grid and determined an appropriate solution. So if this video is helpful in doing all of that, please give this video a thumbs up, and you're now ready for exercise number 4. Thank you for watching.